I can say that I am a Christmas tree. I can say that the moon is made of cheese. It doesn't matter. If you cannot provide evidence, then it can only be assumed that what you're saying is not true. So if there's no evidence that, look, if some student came to me and said, I gave you homework and I don't have their homework, I've never seen their homework, I would say, I'm very sorry, there was no homework handed in, as far as I'm aware. And as a result, that's it. So it could be lost twice, but it's highly unlikely, right?
Uh,
We have to be careful with the absolute statements because we can fall into traps with them.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so um, you can say there's a very very small percentage of possibility that I have made a mistake here, but that is irrelevant because there is no homework, there was no homework, and it's very it's re is is the homework written in hand or is it typed? If you type it, you've got a copy and you can resend it,
Yeah, that's true.
right? If you have only one copy of your work and you lose it, don't walk around pointing the finger at other. It's whose work is it? Your work. Whose responsibility is it? Your responsibility. It's your work. It's your responsibility. I'm not responsible for your work. I'm not responsible for your clothes. I'm not responsible for your breakfast. I'm not responsible for your hairstyle. So that what are you gonna do? You're gonna get me to come round to your house and make your bed for you? I mean that's ridiculous, right? So you there's there, there's no time for games.
No.
We don't have time for games, right? Games are for the sports hall, right? This is the language department, right? You're in the wrong department. Go play your
Mm-hmm.
games. Go play your games somewhere else. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it's if you accuse somebody of doing something, you must bring to the table evidence to prove that what you're saying is true. Otherwise, the basis of what you're saying cannot be believed by anyone anywhere. If there's
Really?
evidence, well, that's you have to treat life like a court of law. You walk into a court of law, you say that person stole my car. You have to provide evidence that you had a car, the car belonged to you, where the car was, you have to provide evidence that the other person took the car. You have to provide documentation. You have to put things on the table. You have to provide real things. You can't just stand up somewhere and say this person took my stuff. You've got to have audio, video. Um, any student who doesn't take a picture of their own work with their phone is being negligent. And if you're not paying attention and you're not careful with what you're doing, you suffer the consequences of it. Everybody does. That's life. Yeah. So let's look. If you wanted to be, I'm talking to the student. If you wanted to be fair, you would say to me, because obviously you don't know how to communicate with people, right?
Me? Me?
No, the student. I'm talking to the student, right? This is me
Mm-hmm.
talking to the student. This is me. I would say to the student, obviously you don't know how to communicate with people because you never accuse somebody of something that you have no evidence of. That's a very weak position that you put yourself in. Yeah, because all you've got is your word. And if you're wrong, nobody will ever believe you ever again. So that's very, very dangerous. So what you do, talking to the student, let me explain to you as a student what you do in this situation. You come to me and you say, I appear to have lost my work. Have you seen it anywhere? And teacher says, well, no, I haven't seen it. And the student's like, okay, that's it, right? You don't point the finger at somebody else. If it's crazy. It's the old you don't take food out of other people's fridges, right? You've got your own fridge. Yeah, you fill it up yourself. Yeah, don't walk around pointing the finger at other people. If you think that a mistake has happened, you must provide evidence of the mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say whatever you want to say. What kind of world is that? Well, I don't know who taught. I would say again to the student, like, I don't know who taught you that you can say whatever you want, but you can't. Society has rules. You can sit down with the student and you can say the homework wasn't handed in. In fact, from our perspective, or you can say from my perspective as a professional in this job, the homework wasn't handed in. There is no copy of the homework. The homework never existed. Can you prove the homework existed? Okay. So if you can't prove the homework existed, it never existed. So as a responsible student, you should have a copy of it. Do you have a copy? No? Well, then write it again. Do it again. Well, I shouldn't have to do it. Well, life is not about the things that we should have to do and shouldn't have to do. There are rules here. That's it. So there's the students. If students can, if you want anyone to do anything, you don't give them the rewards until they're finished the job. Like you don't get paid until the end of the month, right? You don't get paid in the middle of the month, right? Or maybe some people do, but the whole point is that generally in work, in life, whatever, you get paid at the end of the month. And you get paid at the end of the month for a reason, because the job is not, or work is not done until that point in time.